I hit record.
Oh, look at you. I hit record. You need to smile and pay attention.
I hit record. Welcome to episode 2 of Fantasy Friends.
Fantasy Friends.
We are not going to sing.
Okay.
This is not an 80s cartoon. I am your host, Akimbo Merck. This is my co-host of my... Is co-host the right word? Who are you?
I don't know. I think we're both... I don't care. My name's Magellan.
Okay. He's a Magellan. I'm an Akimbo Merck. Welcome to the show. Episode 2. Today we are going to talk about invading personal space. But before we get into that, is there anything you want to talk about, Magellan, with the people? You want to share anything with the people? I got an interesting story. You didn't know about this.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And you saved it for the show, and I'm excited about that.
I don't want to go first. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll keep mine short and simple. Okay. I won't get into details.
Tell me about Halloween. You never told me about your friend.
Yeah, I could do. Yeah, let's do that. And then what I'll do is next episode, you guys will hear another. Well, shoot, by then I'll probably have another save for the show. So Halloween was exciting. It's exciting for me. I know a lot of people have a lot of different beliefs, a lot of different things. People celebrate it different ways. I know a lot of people. It's good, it's bad, regardless.
Let's not dance around what you just said there, buddy. All right, let's talk about it. So you got into an emotional, I don't want to call it heated, but an emotional conversation in our group forum about whether or not Halloween should be celebrated by Christians. And it's interesting, that same conversation was happening in another group forum that I'm in with my brothers.
Yeah.
And the coin fell on, for both conversations, fell on the side of, we're not celebrating, we're not participating in any satanic rituals or anything like that. Mm-hmm. We're just dressing our kids up and going to get candy. We're not putting too much into it like some people were.
Yeah.
So, but you got into this argument or this discussion. Tell me how you feel about it.
Yeah, no, and it was a discussion because what I was saying is usually, about 99.9% of my life, this is how I am. Whether I'm upset, not upset, I don't let really emotions dictate anything. But basically, it boils down to this. I get tired of seeing. You could have your personal opinions and things like that, but I get tired of. I guess just squabbling in general, and this maybe goes past even Halloween. It goes past that. It goes to a point of, just squabbling in general, just because you want to. There's plenty of, if you want to quote unquote call them, that consider themselves Christian churches that, I guess I could say this: if you want to take that Christian look of it, you have Christian churches that don't have a problem celebrating Halloween as it is, and then you have Christian churches that are super strict. If they can't get it together, then why do I even bother with the,
Some churches have gone. Some churches, what they do now is they provide an alternative, which I think is great. They call it Harvest Day or something like that.
Yeah.
They try to kind of get away from some of the traditional Halloween stuff, but they still allow kids to dress up, come to the church where it's safe, we're under the watchful eye of God, I guess, and then, here's your candy, go home. But I think as a kid, and my parents are Christian, so as a kid, we grew up celebrating Halloween, and Halloween to me was going to the whole experience, going to the store to get the costume, getting the bag, you're going to put the candy in it, that mattered.
Yeah.
Going to school and showing your uniform, and then actually doing the trick-or-treating that night with all the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what Halloween was for me.
Yeah.
To me, kid, you don't have any clue about what's going on and about good or evil. All you know is candy is good.
Yeah.
So, I think, we can almost become legalistic in the way we start thinking and looking at something. Because if we really dig into some of these holidays we celebrate, like Easter and Christmas, there's a lot of pagan rituals mixed into those celebrations. But what's our motive behind this? And I think ultimately that's what your conversation came down to. Was what's your motive?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my whole thing is this: Halloween means, anything means different things to different people. And in this particular conversation, Halloween to me is exactly how you described it. It's selecting a costume. It's going out with your friends and your family. Knocking on strangers' doors, getting candy. I know that sounds weird. Knocking on strangers' doors and getting candy.
Strangers' doors, looking candy.
And and everybody's just having. It's almost like, even it happened on school nights too. That's what I loved when it happened on school nights, because it's like, hey, everybody's hyped up. School, you're wearing costumes and no one's judging you. And then you get to rock that costume. And then you get to rock that costume. And so it's, to me, it's just, it's that mentality of, this is Halloween to me. Getting the costume, getting the candy, enjoying a night, getting scared by, whether it's adults in costumes or
haunted houses. I forgot about that.
Yeah, just the fun. And I never really had any other thoughts to it than whenever, really, as an adult, which is kind of what I feel like is when you become an adult, people try to ruin things for you. And that's why with my life, you can't tell me as an adult that I can't buy toys I like. You can't tell me as an adult it's looked down on and frowned upon. But, if I wanted to be like everybody else, then I'd just be another sheep in the herd, and that's just that's not my personality. You know what I mean? I'd rather be a sheep dog. I'd rather lead and protect than just fall in line with everybody else and what everybody's comfortable with, and a group of people and what they think. It's what it means to me. So
let me jump in right there, because you said something I think that's perfect to sum this issue up, and we'll move on. It is whatever you're comfortable with. And the Bible talks about that. The Bible talks about, making sure that what you think is okay doesn't offend the people that you're around, but it makes you conscious of it. And it just says, basically, not everybody's going to agree on whether or not we should eat meat, or, where the meat comes from and all that, like the Bible talks about. So it's the same thing. Some people say, hey, I'm okay celebrating Halloween. It doesn't affect me. Some people say, hey, it's not for me. Then it's not for you. Either way. My thing is, let both sides be, and I think that's a good place to end this. So now let me tell you what happened to me.
I'm excited.
Oh, you shouldn't be, because I'm not.
How come you bring so much downness to save it for the show segment?
Well, I'm just saying, dude. I'm just sharing. I decided I was going to be open and raw as much as possible on the show.
No, absolutely. It's good, because that's what we want our listeners. We want them to feel us and to get to know us, and that's the part of the segment. I think that's what a lot of people like.
Well, let's let the listeners in. I had a colonoscopy on Monday.
Oh, you want them really in?
Get him inside of me. Look around. Yeah, let's let the listeners in and look around. No, well, some of you may not know I have Crohn's disease. It's an inflammatory bowel disease. So basically, the immune system in my stomach turned on and it does not shut off. So I use medicine to control it. Anyway, every so often I have to go and get a colonoscopy and get my stomach checked for the good things, the bad things, and so this one was a good report. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it was a good report. She said everything looked good, and I don't have to come back until another 5 years, which is great news. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I've been sick probably the last few, 15 years, if not more. And it's important that you keep up on your health, man, and you make sure that you get the test done. You do what the doctors say. Don't try to be tough. Be brave. Go on there. Let them look inside of you. Make sure everything is working fine, man. And, you could live a little bit longer. So there. See, it was a good story. It wasn't bad.
You got to the peanuts of it. I know what you meant.
There were no peanuts. And
peanuts.
What they do is they prep you in the corn. Forget it. Move on.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah, that is our, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the Save It for the Show segment. You could call it a break. I like to call it a little shift in momentum, and we're going to talk about our topic of the podcast, which is personal space. So we'll get to that right now.
Look inside of me.
Nick. 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 What?
You know you can hear you, right?
Yeah, I can see him creepily looking from the corner. All right, we are back from our very small segment break, whatever you want to call it. We'll name it because actually you guys are going to name it on our Twitter, which we'll get into. We'll wrap up the show. But I'm actually excited because this was a topic that actually Merck wanted to talk about that I thought that was actually, I think it's awesome because we could dive into a couple of things. Let's just go ahead and dive on into it. Merck, go ahead and open it up. Let's talk about personal space.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys about these two ladies at work, right?
Wow, you are smiling right now. You should see this guy smiling.
Yeah.
He's married.
If you don't know, I work in the healthcare industry, and the ratio of men to women is like 30-1.
So it's like,
and they all can cook, and they want to take care of you, and I'm like a king in there.
He's once again he's married, ladies.
Oh yeah. All right, so there's the two ladies at work.
Mm-hmm.
And we work in the cubicle farm. You know what a cubicle farm is. A cubicle here, everybody has a cubicle, whatever. So there's really no privacy except your cubicle space. Oh, my God. Every time they need help, they come and they invade my space. They cross the imaginary cubicle door. And basically brushes shoulders with me to discuss an issue. Every time. And I'm like, and I don't think they're flirting or anything like that. Well, the one might, but seriously, the other one I know isn't flirting. Mm-hmm. It's just a blatant violation of my personal space, and so it got me to thinking, or thinking about personal space.
So why am I picturing? Because you're saying walking through that threshold. I just picture like a giraffe overlooking into over in your airspace.
No. And I'm glad you said that. That's a good point. If you come and you lean over the gate, and look into my cubicle or whatever, I like to call it a gate because it's like little cute pins.
Yeah.
That's cool because you didn't cross into the cubicle. When you enter the cubicle space, because there's not much.
Yeah.
There's your chair, garbage can, then your line. You're
talking like 3x3, 4x4,
something like that. Yeah, something small like that. So, but yeah, every time brushes shoulders with me, and it's like, wow, how do you say, okay, back up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they mean anything by, but it got me thinking about personal space. Then the day my wife called me frustrated. She lives in a house full of boys. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, it's me and my two boys. One's 11, one's 4.
Horrible.
Going on 14. And, so she gets frustrated with all the testosterone that's in the house. So, dude, on top of that, there's now not 2 cats, 4 cats running around the house. We have 4 cats running around the house, 3 dudes running around the house. And one of the cats and one of the boys.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Ain't quite ready to be pooping right. One's pooping and when it's in a potty. So, somebody got to dump that. And then the kittens are pooping everywhere because they haven't learned to use the kitty litter yet. So she's frustrated, But I got us talking about a need to separate my littlest one, my 4-year-old, from her area so she can have some time to herself, a space to herself. And again, that's that conversation about personal space. So that's why I wanted to talk about this today with you. Then I read a text message, and not a text message, a tweet.
Okay, I was about to say it's probably one of my text messages. I blow him up like we met, and I'm stalking him.
It's disgusting and creepy. But the tweet said, if you're posting stuff on social media, Twitter, Facebook, or what's the other one, Tumblr, then it's public. It's no longer personal. And that was kind of the trio of personal space things I've been dealing with in the last couple of days. And so I just thought it'd be an interesting topic to talk about with you.
Yeah, it's the fantasy friend trio. Like it's 1, 2, 3. It's got to be the next show.
Sounds like an Applebee's appetizer. Yeah, come right in right now and you can get your fantasy friends trio and you get nachos. What else would be on there?
I would say hot dogs.
No, heck no.
What?
Nah, we want nachos, fully loaded.
Okay, are we talking about like Applebee's? Or are we talking about like your preference, which is White Castle with extra cheese, sour cream and cheddar chips with extra cheese, a colonoscopy with some extra cheese?
I put cheese on everything. You got me. No, I'm saying though, if there was a fantasy friend trio appetizer at Applebee's, what would you put on it?
Oh, man. Does it have to be Applebee's? I don't like Applebee's.
Just go with Applebee's. There ain't no difference than Fridays.
Oh, man. If I had to say a Fantasy Friends trio, I would definitely say I'd have to put ribs on there.
It's an appetizer, though. Who gets ribs for an appetizer?
Me?
Valid. Okay, ribs. What else? What are your other two?
I would go. Okay, let's go half rack ribs to make it appetizer-esque.
I figured you meant that.
Yeah. So let's go. I would go ribs.
A porterhouse.
A filet mignon, 8-ounce filet. Right. I would probably, honestly, if it was okay. Let's talk about trio. Let's talk about appetizers. Naming off, I would say fully loaded nachos for sure.
Yes.
Okay. I would say actually stuffed mushrooms. I would put that on there.
I'm okay with those.
And then I would probably say, bacon cheese fries.
Nice. You got me on that one. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. I got that cheese for you, boo.
I like the bacon. I personally, mine would be, of course, the nachos. Buffalo wings, dude. How do you not boneless buffalo?
I mean, I'm a wing guy, but I'm not a wing. Like, it's not like I crave them.
It's an appetizer, dude. Wings are appetizers. Boneless buffalo appetizers. And then the last one would be cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks.
Come on.
Because they're like cheese and they're sticks.
That's it.
So... now you guys know if you want the fantasy trio, just know they're going to ask you, do you want the Merc trio or do you want the Magellan trio?
And you want the Merc trio, definitely. Except for the bacon fries thing. That sounds good.
Yeah.
But
so I wanted to ask you you said that your wife called frustrated and she needed some space. Now, are you a procrastinating husband or are you a go get it done husband? What happened when you got home? Did you get it done for her?
I came home determined. I hit my oldest could tell you, I hit the door at about 5:34, dropped my bag, and the house was just like Hurricane Gabe went through it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so let's start with one room, work to the next, and so me and him actually cleaned up 3 rooms, got some laundry started, and then we cleaned up the biggest problem, which was my baby boy's his bedroom, which wasn't really being used. It was full of toys and it wasn't clean, so it wasn't really being used. He wasn't even sleeping in there. So I was like, all right, where do I put my wife? She's already comfortable in the living room in front of the TV with a computer or whatever. So cool. I can't take her from out of there. I'll move him. So I cleaned up his room, put up all the toys, took a dresser out of there so he had more room for his little basketball court, and then moved him in there. And he's been in there pretty much all evening.
Yeah.
So, but that, my wife was really appreciative of it. It kind of gave her space back, and it's personal space. Like the last few places I lived, that's the first thing I look for when I go to look at if I can live there, is whether or not there is a space for me.
Yeah.
So right now I'm sitting in what I call the man cave, which is a family room. It's pretty good size.
Yeah, it is.
You figure I got a full furniture set from the Royal Kingdom. My flat screen, my big speakers.
no.
my Zamunda furniture.
He's not even joking. Imagine watching Coming to America, and imagine them having a family meeting room in their palace. He literally has furniture that looks like that. It looks like elephant tusks of ivory trim and like silky prince robes as fabric.
Elephant tusks.
Like, I was afraid to eat it, and I was like, are you sure you want me in the throne?
Man, I love this furniture.
Yeah.
When I first got it, it was given to me, so and I needed it, so I didn't want to turn it down.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I love it in here. It's different. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially when I sit in the chair, I feel like I am sitting in the throne.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, which I actually let you sit in when you was here.
I know.
Goodness.
When I ate all 6 of those sliders.
Those sliders, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. But
I actually farted in that chair too. Huh?
Well, thank you for breaking it in. What were we talking about?
Oh, just you were describing your space, your personal.
Oh yeah, my man cave. Yeah, so my man cave. I love it. So got the Royal Zamunda furniture. There's room in here for a computer desk with the computer on it. My son sits there. I got my 2 big tall speakers. You know what I mean? I got this whole big space behind me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just full of space. And then it kind of steps out onto the back porch, which then overlooks kind of a big park area. I love my man cave. This is my space. I fight for my space, man. This is where I come to relax, unwind, chill out, hang out with my friends, get away from it all. So I when my wife called me, man, I understood where she was at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her personal space had been invaded by a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And he took over. And so when I got home, he had piles of toys in just about every corner. And not only that, he got into the sock basket. We keep a basket of socks because everybody's too lazy to put them up. So you just dig in there. You
just wash them, you put them in the basket, you wear them, and then you wash them and throw them back in the basket.
Yeah. You don't find 2 that match, you might be careful going out that day. Don't play the lottery that day. But he had gotten to the sock basket, so they were all over the house. And it was straight out of a Calgon commercial, bro. I could see my wife on the phone like, Calgon, take me away. So it let me play hero today. I was able to come home and get the house in order for her. But I also gave her space back. I defeated the 4-year-old, pushed him back into his territory, and told him, man, you gotta keep your toys and stuff in your room. So
yeah. No, I like that because there's a lot of interpretation when you talk about personal space.
Yes.
Because personal space, there's so many different, like you said, it's just so many different places. You have personal space at work. You have personal space at home. You have personal space when you're out.
So personal space.
Yeah.
That's personal space too.
Exactly. So, and it's cool because I'm thinking, all right, well, he's gonna go to Home Depot and he's gonna spend $400 on some wood, and then he's gonna start building a room attached to.
Just cut a room in half.
Yeah.
Put a wall up. There you go.
But yeah, with personal space, I get it. I really do. You know, I have a nerd cave. That's what I call mine, the nerd cave. It was the man cave, and then it's just started being so nerdish and geeky with all the stuff because you walk
all the masculinity just washed away.
What's that?
All the masculinity washed away.
Yeah.
That pink Zelda dress hanging in the background.
Yeah. So you have, and it started out as a typical man cave, right?
Right.
You have.
What's in your man cave? What makes it?
So this
what made it a typical man cave?
Well, this is why it was the typical man cave, and my wife actually did this for me as a surprise. First, okay.
I don't know if your wife buys for the man cave. Is it a man cave? Or is it a family room?
No.
It's a family room, bro. She played you.
It's a family room with a schedule. I can only use it 2 hours every other day.
If your man cave has a schedule, it is not a man cave. It's a nursery.
So so it started out as actually it was pumpkin orange. That was the first.
I'm done.
That was the first.
I'm done, dude. Your room was not pumpkin orange.
So it was pumpkin orange, bright orange.
Like Cleveland brown orange?
No. Cleveland brown orange is like a darker. We're talking brighter. We're talking like pumpkin orange. Oh my
God. And purposely went out and picked this paint and put it on the wall?
I think I did. I think I picked it.
I think you're trying to protect her.
No. This is what I was getting at. So I had that. I didn't really have anything in here. It was just a couch, TV, nothing too crazy. And then she surprised me. I don't remember where I was or what. I don't remember what happened. I think I was maybe at work and she was here, but she was trying her hardest to get the room ready. And she was saying, hey, can you do this or can you get this? And I actually, now that I think about it, she actually called me and she was like, hey, listen, I want it to be a surprise, but I need your help and I don't want to go get it. Can you go get a can of paint, like a quart, like the small ones?
Yeah.
Because she ran out of paint. And I was like, paint? I was like, why? And she's like, just ask for this color. And I was like, what? Why are we?
We're trying to ruin the surprise. Nosy.
Yeah. And I was like, who would pick this? Like, what? And so I kind of, I think average guy, common sense wise. And
I'm an average guy.
And I was like, listen, knowing my wife and knowing style, women's style, no one's gonna in their right mind's gonna paint their room this color. And when I came here and got her the paint, it was Cowboys blue.
Okay.
So that's where like the kind of really man cave started taking form. Because I had it was like a light gray couch, almost silverish, and then it had the blue walls. And then I started getting Cowboys gear. People knew I was a Cowboys fan, so they started giving me just little bitty things here and there that I put in there, and it was great. And then I kind of felt bad because I don't even think it lasted 6 months.
Wow.
And the reason why is we talked about it, I was like, I just want to do something different. I need some change. I like it, but I don't love it. And I was just thinking, what makes me happy? What gives me good memories? What's been with me forever? And then I was thinking, first thing that popped up, games, video games. And then I was like, if I had to do one video game, there was no doubt about it. There was any close second. It had to be Legend of Zelda. And so that is the theme. I painted it like Link tunic green.
It's a nice color too, man.
And that's not what I wanted, because you kind of get that forest vibe from it. You get that Link tunic vibe. And then it just, from there, it took off. I ended up getting a replica shield. I got a full-size sword. I got...
dress.
What's that?
You got the pink dress. People, if y'all... Hey, listen. All right, once we're recording, it's so distracting. Magellan has the shield and sword behind his head, but hanging up next to it is Zelda's pink dress. And it's just like the weirdest two things: this sword and shield and then this pink dress. This is how you know it's not a man cave. So he probably blamed his wife and said she hung it up there, but we really know who hung it up there.
I being
Family,
a true
it's the den.
true Legend of Zelda fan, I had to add Zelda in there. Which, for you who don't know, please listen to this podcast, and please, if you don't do anything for me the rest of your life, spread the word. Zelda is the girl. She's the princess. Zelda is not the guy who looks like an elf in the green. His name's Link, all right? So stop calling Link Zelda. He doesn't like it.
Right. That's kind of like old boy from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, Hootie? Yeah, I know Hootie. No, Hootie. Man, that's not my name.
You are Hootie and the Blowfish, right? No, that's Darren. Was it Darren Wilson?
I think it's something Ruckus.
Darius Ruckus.
Yeah.
Not Hootie.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name? Oh no, man. Never mind. I thought you were Hootie.
Right.
Sorry, man. Wrong guy. But yeah, so that's in my nerd cave. That's what I have. Everything is, and it's so cool because my wife, I got her into Legend of Zelda, and she actually helped with some of the stuff in here. Cool. She actually hand painted digital hearts that are.
Keep proving for me that it's not a man cave. You have digital hearts.
Like it's just a.
It looks sharp. I'm sure it's like, oh, badass. But they're hearts, bro.
Yeah. And it's just so, the iconic pieces. You have the hearts that are up on the top right screen. And, I
just thought about something.
Yeah.
That's why you don't call it a man cave. That's why you call it a nerd cave, because it doesn't qualify to be a man cave.
Exactly. So I like my nerd cave. I love it. And dude, if I could show people this, they'd say, okay, well, Legend of Zelda, cool. No, it's not just that. Dude, I got Harry Potter stuff in here. I got freaking Star Wars stuff. I got Cowboys rookie cards. I got Pokemon stuff. I got things that people would be ashamed to buy, but because I'm me and I don't care what anybody thinks, that's the stuff that makes me happy. And you know what? I know we're kind of getting off personal space a little bit, but people I found out who give me thumbs up or high fives, or people who are like, nice shirt, when I'm rocking a Star Wars shirt or when I'm rocking Ninja Turtles.
Right.
I realized someone told me something that I'll never forget. And there was a guy who saw it was a Millennium Falcon shirt that I had on.
Right.
And he's like, man, and it hit me. He was like, man, I wish I could wear that shirt. He's like, I wish my wife would let me wear that shirt. And what I came to realize is people.
Dressing your man. I'm sorry. Give them back their masculinity.
What I came to realize is that guys who like guys' shirts and that nerdy kind of shirt or the gamer shirt or whatnot, it's because, one, they're not really allowed to wear them, whether their wife actually says so or not.
Allowed to wear them.
Two, they're not confident enough to wear a shirt like that out.
That's what it is. That's the truth right there. I don't think it has anything to do with their wives. I think it's about confidence. Could you wear this shirt and not worry about what people are going to say and think?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to fit in with the cool crowd,
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it's like, come on, man. Do we really have that cool crowd? Do we got the cool guys sitting at the lunch table by themselves still?
I think so, man. I think if you're an undercover nerd, you've been ridiculed, over this stuff. Even though being a nerd and being a geek is being celebrated now, I think if you were one back then, you'd be still a little apprehensive about, showing that stuff. But, I think you got to get past that. Wear your shirt,
I love my shirts. You don't make fun of my shirts.
Too. Yeah, get the socks, get the whole set.
I do. I will get it. I'll get the Batman. I got the Batman boxers with the cape on it. I'm not ashamed. I'm not rocking them right now.
Sunday. When you listen to all that stuff, that's all I kept hearing was Man, I got Star Wars, I got Halo, I got Link. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Come get it now before he runs out. This is Mad Magellan. I got I got He-Man, I got She-Ra. Sunday, Sunday only. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good, man. I mean, it's the truth, and I embrace that, But back to personal space, you know, it's very important. It really is. And then let's jump on to a little different than a physical space. Let's talk about your personal space, your bubble, per se.
Yeah.
Me and my wife have been married. It'll be 10 years in July.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and we're still off. So, I mean, we haven't made it. I wouldn't, pre-celebrate. It's pretty rocky right now.
Sound like you just got into a pre-fight, buddy. Enjoy that one.
She pops her head in. She's eyeballing me.
Right.
And actually, she's grinning. You wanted it for? Huh? Hold on. I got to stop this podcast.
Right.
No, so we got a great relationship, and a lot of people don't know we actually work together. And so working together, we're not talking, they just work at the same place. We work at the same place in the same room together. So it's not an office and a wall and then an office. We're talking office, desk, 2 computers side by side.
Like cops.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like cops, dude. Like 2 cops, 2 detectives.
And so, that right there, I mean, we already see each other every day. So that personal space there, I mean, it's a different scenario than most people do, because most people don't work like that with their wives, and they're not side by side, and you're not, you don't have this weird, it's not weird, but just different. So the point I'm getting at is when we get home, we're talking about personal space. There is a unworded kind of symbolism when you walk in the door.
Right.
An unspoken language is the best word. And it's through, I guess, body language and through if you're really talking or not. And we love each other, and we don't fight. I mean, everybody argues, and you have those tiffs, but it's not, this is not where I'm going with that. When we work together, we have a great ride home. Whatever the case is, you can feel each other out and know, hey, give me my personal space, and you take your personal space, and we'll call it quits for the rest of the night,
Right.
And it's really cool because, my personal space is the nerd cave. Hers is really the living room, is where she really likes to be, watching whatever she watches and then playing the Wii U. So it's just really cool because some days you just fill it out. You're like, hey, I'm going to spend time with you, and what do you want to watch? Go on from there. And then there's other days where you just need personal space. You gotta get away. You can't be, there's no realistic, I don't care what anyone says. I don't know anybody like this who's even survived a marriage. You don't have a honeymoon, lovey-dovey, all over each other marriage every single day, hour by hour. It does not work that way. You gotta have space.
Yes.
And that's what people gotta realize. And that would be one of the things I would tell people who maybe are in a young marriage or thinking about getting married. You gotta know that when your lady or your guy doesn't really want to be around you, it's not anything personal. It's just that you got this space that you share 24/7 minus work or whatnot. But, sometimes you need that personal space. You need that personal time. And a lot of marriages, people take it as, my wife's not loving me anymore. My husband's cheating on me. You know how that stuff goes. You start trying to get away. Nope. Well, you don't know how that goes. I was trying to catch him. I was trying to catch him slipping, and it didn't work.
Tried to get me. He tried to get me. I told you that was over with. I told you that. Don't mention it on the radio. No, man, I definitely understand what you're saying. Especially when then you add kids to the mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then now you got two more little people pulling at you all day. They're constantly on your mind. When you lay down till you wake up, they're constantly running through your head. They either need something from you, or you're thinking about how you're going to provide for them, or if they're safe. And it's you need a place to get away from them, get away from work, get away from the world, turn down the volume, man. I was thinking today. So I stay late. I'm one of the last people to close the building down, and one of the last things they do is turn the radio off.
Yeah, shut down. You're gonna shut down and fold the cubicles.
I fold the cubicles. I tuck the cubicles away. So
okay, hold on. This is one thing. It's super weird. I don't know why I do it. I gotta know, and I ask this, and some people who are listening to this are gonna laugh when I say this. I asked whenever I was recently at a car dealership, I asked them, I'm like, man, do you guys, like, you're in this space, right? All the time. You work here for a long time. And I just was asking, like, you paint a wall, right? Eventually you got to repaint a wall or whatnot. So in cubicles, I asked, and I thought it was a pretty common sense. I was like, do you guys, like, switch out, like, cubicle colors?
You didn't ask that.
I was like, do you guys get tired of like looking at the same like blue, and then like once a couple of years they switch out to like red? Or
cubicles are like one step above indentured servants. So no, you're gonna look at that tired gray or tan color for your entire existence on this job. They're not gonna switch those colors out at all.
Okay,
you get that up, buddy.
So that's a 0 for 2, no cubicle switches.
But let me go back to this question, because in its essence, it sounds intelligent.
Dude, that's what I thought.
It sounds like one of those mind-bending questions, but then when you think about it, it's like, what did this dude just ask me?
Yeah. And then I would reply, I apologize if I didn't speak loud enough. I wanted to know if you guys switch the colors out to the cubicles. Dude, I had to ask. And you know why I have to ask? Because nobody does. And I just had to know. I think
that could be the first time in the history of mankind that question's been asked.
Do you guys swap cubicle colors?
I was so deep but meaningless. So, can we switch out cubicle colors? I mean, because cubicle slaves, we're like, can we do that? Is that a possibility? But no. One step above indentured servant, which is a step above a slave. So no. Be happy you have a cubicle. You're not sitting in desk like you're in grade school. Could you imagine working like that?
Oh.
Talk about personal space.
Yeah.
He's pulling my hair. He hit me with a, bit wad or whatever. But no, man. What were we talking about?
So sorry, throwing you off track. But you were talking about how you were closing down, and the last thing to do is turn off the radio.
Yes, please don't interrupt me again.
Okay.
Okay, so the last.
What color are the cubicles?
They're like this beige.
It's like a pastel ugly.
Yeah, it's like too vanilla to even be beige. It is the weakest, most uninspiring color that's ever been created. I don't even think they've named it yet. It just says it's cubicle. If they said what color is that, they would say cubicle. It's just cubicle. Yeah,
it's cubicle.
These curtains come in cubicle. Yeah, cubicle is now a color. That's how bad it is, bro.
Okay. All right, I won't ask you what cubicle.
Yeah, about the color of these cubicles. What color is that? That's that new cubicle. Just came out.
Cubicle. Oh, so they swapped it out? Nah, it's cubicle.
It's cubicle. Never swap it out.
Okay, so the last thing they do is turn off the radio.
Yeah, so the last thing they do is turn off the radio. And he turned off the radio, and all of a sudden the building was silent. And, I had a bit of an epiphany or whatever. Like, man, all day we are constantly bombarded with stuff, whether we get up to an alarm clock, there's a noise of the shower, there's a noise of traffic, the noise of the radio, you get to work, there's a noise of phones and the conversations. And then it's just all day we're bombarded with noise, and it's like, okay, that's when that personal space comes in. That's when you need to shut everything down. And that's what kind of hit me when the radio went off. I was like, wow, for the first time, it's quiet in here. There's no phones ringing. There's no coworkers talking. There's no music playing. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And so we kind of tie that in back to personal space is you need that moment. A good place to find it if you commute, find it in your truck or your car or whatever. Turn off the radio and just ride.
Oh, that's why you don't like when I call you after work.
Stop calling me. You messing up my feng shui. I am in a mood. I am preparing to come home and deal with these 2 kids, these 4 cats, and my angry wife. I need that 30 minutes, and you want to talk about fantasy football.
Dude, it's always something dumb. There's no reason in a real grown-up conversation why I have to talk to you. There's not. It's something. It's football fantasy. It's
right.
Talking about. I don't know, man. I don't even know what I call you for half the time.
But it's not important.
And I can sense it too. I can sense it. And what I want to do is I really want to say, all right, man, yeah, I took too much of your time, but then I already got you on the phone, so I don't want to let you go.
Such an abuse, dude. And here's what's so funny to me. I remember when I told you, hey, I don't like talking on the phone. Phone calls never stop. Like a week. I think you called like once. And then it was right back to what it was. Yeah. I was like, oh.
I had to force it in one ear and out the other. Because I really did care how you felt, but it doesn't personally benefit me if I don't call you.
Terrible.
I just
terrible
keep calling.
Violation of my personal space, sir. Terrible violation. You just broke all personal space codes. You are a space invader. You're a space invader. That's what you are. That's what I'm going to call you from now on, space invader.
But yeah, continue, because you make a good point, which is your personal space doesn't always have to be one certain location or one certain. Sometimes it's going outside and taking a deep breath and just getting that bubble back, getting away from people and just kind of saying, just whatever, whether you're going through an anxiety issue or whether you're tired of hearing nonsense that there's no reason of even listening to, or people even talking about it. Whatever the case, you just kind of need that pause and reset, and you can almost make anything your personal space. Like you were saying, that ride home, turning it off, just letting everything just kind of go and just listening to the air, the wind through the window, like anything.
Right. No, I mean, that's a good place. And I'm going to tell you where some of you guys are ruining a good chance to get some personal space is the bathroom.
Oh,
put your cell phones down, turn them off. Just enjoy it.
So
enjoy the flowing of your colon. See where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Just imagine your intestines being scoped with a camera. Just relax. Get in your personal space now.
I want to go to Taco Bell for some reason.
Don't go.
So
I will never be able to eat Taco Bell from now on, bro.
Okay, you said, which is true. A lot of people do. Okay, you got to tell me this, and I'll tell you, or I can tell you first.
Sounds dirty.
When you are in the bathroom, all right, let's just say you got to do your business, all right? We're all human beings. We all got to take deuces, all right? So you get done taking your number 2.
Okay.
Be honest, because before you even say it, I'm gonna say it. This is me. I use the restroom, and I will sit there for a prolonged period, depending on what I'm doing, whether it's 5 minutes after.
I can't unsee this.
15 minutes after, whatever the case, to keep doing whatever I was doing.
I don't want to see that image.
It's fine. Just picture.
It's fine. You're taking a deuce. I don't want that in my head. Don't paint that picture for the audience.
So I'm taking.
To answer your question.
So for me, I do. It's very. It used to be okay. You didn't have cell phones and you didn't have a lot. So whenever you're done with your deuce, you're done, right?
You're done.
You wash your hands. Some people don't. I prefer not to. I like the aftertaste that I can get. I like the taste. It's like getting Cheetos and not wiping the Cheetos.
Don't ruin Cheetos. You've already ruined Taco Bell. Don't ruin Cheetos.
It's like Cheetos. You don't wipe it off, and then you can lick it, and you get a little taste of the Cheetos.
Let me just throw up Taco Bell.
So for me, now with the cell phone and the new tablets and stuff, now I find myself getting done with my business, but using that time, I'm already in there. I'm in a personal space.
Right.
So now I use time afterwards to finish what I'm doing, or if I'm writing something, or if I'm looking at something. Am I the only one that does that?
No, dude. But you're the only one that's going to admit it, but you're not the only one that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there have been plenty of times that people will text so much you think they're at home. You know, hey, you didn't go to work today? Nah, man, I'm in the bathroom. Like, dude, we just talked for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, 30 minutes you text me back and forth, but don't take tablets into the bathroom. Tablets are creepy.
Yeah, I think it's a violation of some sort if you take anything bigger than a cell phone.
Yeah, at that point,
you're taking tablets. Tablet.
I feel like if you take a tablet in there, like bathroom film air will just.
It just lays on it.
Yeah, and then it's like germ filled, and you just tapping away with it. Eating Cheetos.
So one thing that popped in my head is you're talking about texting for 30 minutes. Yes. I am not ashamed, and if someone ever asked me while I was doing it, I would tell you straight up. If I'm on the phone call with you and you're like, "Hey man, are you in the bathroom?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm taking a dump." But I feel like
you hear that echo.
Yeah, it's like echo. Yeah, I'm taking a dump.
Dude, did you just flush? It's the guy next to me.
Be like, hold on. And this is where I think there's got to be a line, right? For me, even for me.
You crossed it like 10 minutes ago.
There's got to be a line. And for me, I think the line is, okay, if I answer a phone, you should be happy that I am in my personal space taking a number 2 and I answer the phone for you. You should feel special.
Or creeped out. One or the other.
I mean, that you gotta say, this guy is he's taking a dump and he took the time to take my phone call.
Bro, it's funny you mentioned that because I swear my wife waits till I go into the bathroom at work to call. And it's not a call that you can just say, I let it go to voicemail, I'll get it back. You can't do that when you got, 2 little kids, so you gotta take it. And I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. And she's like, and just keeps talking.
Well, yeah, I just want to let you know that, go ahead. Can you write this down? I need some milk. I'm in the bathroom. Do they got toilet paper? We'll write it down.
Does not care. That's when you know you've been married a long time. When you say, hey, but I'm in the bathroom.
Why don't you just text it to me? Because we're literally talking on the phone right now.
Right.
No, man, that's. I think. But what I was gonna say is, I think.
But why do you answer the phone? Why do you hold it? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're in the room with you or something. Why do you try to hold it in and wait till the conversation is over before you finish your deuce? I'm just saying, You know, it's not like they can hear you.
No, see, here's the thing. I don't
I mean,
care.
how do you freeze up mid deuce?
I don't freeze up. I don't care. Like, even if we're talking, we might get a little bit censored here, but we're talking halfway out, I'm still picking up the phone.
So you're turtling. I got you.
Yeah, I got a turtle head. Hey man, hold. And you might hear a little. Hey man, hey, yeah man. Nah, we're good. Hey, what's up? Here's where I think it crosses the line, even for me. I think it is. You're holding a phone, okay? We get it. You're and you're using the restroom. Okay, now whenever your voice goes from talking like this to talking like way over here, you know you're on speakerphone. You know that guy is wiping at that current moment. Okay? You know it, and that image will be there, and there's no holding it. You could talk about it now, but when it happens, it is burnt in. And you know that guy got off his phone, put it on speakerphone, set it on there, made his movements. I'm just saying, for me, that's probably the line.
Don't put me on speakerphone. White. Call me back.
Yeah, hey, hold on, man. Hold on. Oh, man. But it's...
Welcome to the Sophomoric Show. I'm your host, 40-year-old Kimbo Merck.
So
this is the other host, Magellan, and we're talking about poops.
We're talking about poops.
And we're talking about boo-boo.
Did he just say toilet paper?
Well, we're in the bathroom. Let's stay there now. We're here. We crossed the line 10 minutes ago. We're here. Let's just stay here for a while.
Oh, man.
You know, we often joke in the group forum about, well, at least I do, about the guy in this, about man rules. It's what I call them. They're man rules. So a man rule is, if you go into a bathroom and there's 3 stalls, one man on the furthest to the left, one man on the furthest to the right.
This is personal space. We're still talking personal space. Go ahead. Go.
Personal space, right. The divider in between, no peeking.
Yeah.
Those are man rules. And the same thing applies for bathroom stalls. So Da Vinci, he often tells us stories about guys violating his personal space.
Yes.
But he was taking a deuce, and a guy came, and he knew the bathroom was empty, and the guy came and sat right next.
Why do you do that?
Damn. Why?
Why do you do that?
Oh, dude, so many red flags go up, and alarms go off. Dude, why are you peeing next to me? There's like 3 other stalls over there.
Why?
Use any of them.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's so intriguing. It's such a, it happens, right? And it happens to everybody. Right. But you almost, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not even joking. You think I am? I'm dead serious. Next guy, if I am taking a dump in a public space and I know there's 4, if I'm in an airport and I know there's 10 stalls and I'm in this stall on the corner and I know that there's 8 other stalls, 6 other stalls.
You look for the last stall. You have about 10 stalls in between you and the door.
If you come beside me, I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you're listening. I don't care if you're going to listen. If you are in the stall beside me, I will happily knock on your stall and I will say, "Excuse me, sir. Is there any reason, I just want an explanation. Is there any reason why out of the other 100 stalls that are here, why did you have to sit at this one?"
Right.
Like, why can't I ingest my fumes? I don't want to share my essence with you.
Oh God, I want you to share your essence with nobody.
And why? Right. Why? Okay, here's another thing. Okay, you have a door. You have a door, right? Let's just say on the east side of the room. All right, okay. And you have stalls, urinals on the west side. Okay, so if I don't know, I don't understand this either. If you're walking in from the east side and you're heading over to the west, over where the the urinals are, and I'm on the wall, okay, and you have 3 or 4 of the urinals, okay, you're physically passing urinals that you could have used.
Creepy.
Why are you standing beside me right now? You can't, because then the argument goes out of the window of, well, it was the closest one. No, it wasn't, because you literally passed 3 stalls to come pee right beside me. Like, were you hoping that I was going to strike a conversation with you?
And it's the worst when you're at work because you're like, I can never look this coworker in the eye again, dude. You just crushed this bathroom on a level that has never been discovered before. That, dude, this show is so personal space. There's some deuces you don't take at work. Some deuces just
even in emergencies, you expect someone in emergencies to not even hold it. I mean,
there are some deuces you know that deuce is gonna be bad. Respect other people's personal space. Go to the gas station across the street.
What if they can't make it?
This has got to be the poopiest podcast I've ever recorded.
It is the poopiest, and it's personal poop space.
It is personal. Welcome to the personal poop space segment. Have you pooped today?
This is, I think, because we're getting towards the end of our time limit here for the show. One thing I want to get into, I think we got another, I believe, 10 minutes or so. One other bathroom thing I have to know.
We cannot get out of this bathroom.
One other thing. Are you the type of person that when you use it publicly, are you the type of person that has to wait? Like if you got and you're cramping up and it's gonna hit and you know when it hits, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna rumble the tiles off of that bathroom.
Hey, but isn't that when you have that conversation inside your head? You just say, well, I mean, it's natural. You know, it is a bathroom.
And that's my question for you. For me, do I hold it and wait until everyone's out versus do I let it go? I let it go because I don't care what you think. I gotta go, and I'm not hurting my intestines.
Even if it's gonna be like a tuba sound, or
even
a
if
drum,
it's like bum bum
drum solo.
Pop, pop, pop. No, it's done. It's happening.
Was that a drive-by? East side, boom.
I tell you what, it'll look like a drive-by by the time I get done. There's gonna be splatter all over the wall. Too far?
Too far. About 20 minutes ago now, we passed it.
Because there are people who I know who just hold it, and they will not go until that bathroom's clear. It's like they're ashamed of what everybody does. And that's why I was saying, for me, I'm going to let it fly. I don't care who's listening. I don't care because, I mean, odds are you're not going to know who I am unless I have like sparkling, unicorn shoes and you're actually physically looking. And then I'm going to ask you, why are you looking so hard at my shoes when you should be in the bathroom duty business?
If I come into a bathroom and a man has on sparkling unicorn shoes, I'm not using that bathroom. I'm just not. I'm going to wait till he leaves, but then I'm just not going to use it while he's in there.
That would be the type of guy. I think you're the type of guy where if you saw those shoes, you would do your business. And even if let's just say you're in the middle of a movie and you paid tickets to go see this movie at a theater, I believe you're the type of guy that will leave that bathroom, post up on the wall, and wait till the guy comes out with the shoes to see who it is. So you can say you.
Dude, I gotta see who it is. And then after the movie, I'm pointing them out
to everybody. Hey, hey, that's the guy with the unicorn shoes.
Look at the shoes. His shoes. Hey, so listen. All right, before look, we done went too far, but we did something great today, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Let me wrap this up. We got to a subject that is very sophomoric, but it's also a subject that makes you uncomfortable, and I think that's perfect for today's show because we want to talk about personal space. The ways you can find time to yourself, the different ways people have personal space, man caves. V caves, nerd caves, in your car, or whatever,
Yeah.
at your personal space. It's important that you have it. But we also want you guys to realize that you are a space invader, which is, how you should feel right now. You should be uncomfortable hearing so much personal stuff about bathrooms being used. So that makes you a space invader. If you're uncomfortable right now, you're probably invading somebody's space.
Mm-hmm.
Take a step back. Don't be so needy, so clingy. Realize that person is being bombarded with noise all day.
Mm-hmm.
Give them some room. Give them some personal space. They need it. I learned it. I learned it definitely in the bathroom. I will never use the public bathroom again. No, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to wrap that up and say, I know this show was a little uncomfortable, but that's how people feel when you violate their personal space.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I think it makes a good point. I think it makes a great point. People need their personal space. Period. Whether it's even at home, even if you got a family, there's just sometimes that you need time by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just because you feel like being away from someone for a day, that doesn't make you, hey, man, this guy's going to go off the hinge. What's wrong with him? Is he sick? Is he dying?
Yeah.
Don't think that way, because everybody does it. And the people who don't do it, you need to start doing it, because you're on the brink of something exploding inside of you that you gotta get that. It's like anything else. You gotta have that release, and I know we're wrapping up the show here, but a couple of things that I was actually doing research on and found very good is that with personal space, I have to say it, with personal space comes personal responsibility. I don't know why I was thinking that.
It sounds good, though. You should get that on a t-shirt. Personal responsibility.
With people,
Poop in peace. That's going to be my movement. Poop in peace. Poop in the pip.
Yeah, pip.
Poop in peace.
Poop. A couple of things that will, and I honestly, people who listen, I think you should just really be truthful. Because if my wife comes to me and says, hey, I need some personal space, I respect it, because I know now, okay, she wants personal space, has nothing to do with me. I didn't do anything wrong. Everything's okay with her. She just wants some space to time for herself. I respect that, and I respect people who do say that, and you should as well. You shouldn't ever look down on someone because they don't want to be. It's not they don't want to be around you. They just don't want to be around anyone, And a couple of things too is, what people don't know. And these are some facts that I just looked up and I was intrigued by, spending time alone, being in your personal space. You actually are more creative when you're by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's you brainstorm, you think, and you don't actually have to jumble your ideas with other people. You work harder when you're by yourself. There's a lot of distractions and a lot of, like you said, kids. For me, it's dogs. For me, it's gaming buddies who keep texting and say, hey, when are you going to get on? Are you going to game tonight? Some people, introverted people, it's actually what I found out here is it's actually alone time is like a key to happiness for introverts. They're not, you can't, just because you're married doesn't mean you have to be all over each other, and especially an introverted person. And I know this personally because my wife is introverted. You got to give them that space and then let them recharge, let them get their space, and then everything's okie dokie. It's another thing that you don't realize when you have alone time and you're in a personal space, whether, let's just talk about what we said, or work-wise, or if you're out or you need to step away from a group of people. Usually, I've actually met people this way. I usually have good conversations this way by taking a personal space time out from maybe a group at a restaurant or somewhere I don't want to be, I usually bump into something or somebody says something about a shirt I'm wearing or whatever breaks that conversation, and you can actually meet and have not meet as a prolonged friend, but have an interesting conversation that you probably would have missed or passed up. And I mean, you never know. I mean, that's how ideas start. You know, you have conversations, and there's a lot of benefits to personal space, and there is benefits to alone time. And I think that the biggest by far with personal space is a lot of people tend to overthink when they're alone, when they don't have anything going on.
Yep.
It helps clear your mind. If you just give it, if your brain's running 24/7, eventually it's gonna start shutting down, and you're gonna get to that point.
Think people don't realize their brain is going 24/7. It is, because what happens is, you wake up, like I said, you go through your morning routine and you hit the road. When did you step out the house? You're in it. You're in the mix. You're in the noise. You're in the world, and it's constantly moving around you. It's not stopping. Yep. It's constant motion, constant sound, and it's all bouncing off against you. And so when you're being beat up like that, it's so important to kind of step back and reset, like Chris was saying.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a recharge, it's a rest, reset. You can't constantly be on. Some people can, but those people who you think they take that time, and you think I'm ramped up and wired all day long. There's times where I got to sit back and I just got to shut it all down, and I just think, and then eventually you stop thinking, and then you just, I don't know, it's almost like a peace. It's like going camping. You shut everything down. You're away from Wi-Fi. Like that's what you need,
I'm glad you mentioned Wi-Fi, because we all do this. It's such a bad habit to take your phone to bed. You say, all right, I'm going to bed, and it's 9:00, and it's 10:30 before you go to sleep, because you just, charged up your brain with all this, light 3 feet from 3 inches away from your face.
Yep.
Not only that, you've read all this information your brain now has to store and process.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what happens is you finally turn the phone off. If you don't play some music, just put that out there. Some people play music and noise. The brain is still working when you do that. Yeah. But anyway, say you don't play music, you turn your phone off, and you finally unwind. It takes you probably a good 45 minutes to get into to REM, where you're going to actually be in a deep sleep in your body and your mind, and all that shuts down. And you know what your body does? Your brain does, it processes everything that you went through that day. You ever have a weird dream where the person from Taco Bell showed up at church because you were on the phone talking to your grandma, in another city, and it's all of it together and it makes sense, but that's really your brain defragging itself, and kind of putting everything back in place where it needs to be in process and everything. So taking that time in the middle of the day helps your brain reset, like we talked about. But turning that phone off at night, the minute you hit bed, is going to make you so much more rested and relaxed in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the days that, and I'll say this, and I know we run along, the days that I don't play video games, my brain isn't constantly stimulated. The next day, I feel like I have twice as much energy.
Yeah, you do. And you want to be gaming and you want to be with friends, but you got to hit that reset button. You got to give yourself personal space. Personal space it's not a person who doesn't want to be around people. It's just, and it's not someone in a bad mood. It's not someone who hates their life. It's not a depressed person. When you see someone who just doesn't want to be around people, it's probably just taking a personal time out and saying, hey, dude, just back up. Just let me just kind of just chill out and reset, and we're good to go. So give people their personal space. Please get personal space and time of yourself. Make the world a better place. There won't be wars. There won't be people sitting next to you in the bathroom stall. Maybe they'll sit 2 stalls over.
Poop in peace.
Poop in peace. Yes.
Poop in peace, my brother. Poop in peace.
We're going to wrap it up right here. I think it was a
courtesy flush. Somebody.
I think it was I had a ton of fun in this episode, and
I did too, man.
We're getting more loose with it. I like it. We're having fun.
You shouldn't say loose on the pooping. That's so gross. So gross.
I appreciate you. I appreciate each and one of you, whether it's one or whether it's 100 people or hopefully thousands somewhere down the road, stopping in, taking time out of your day to listen to the show. I'm actually stoked about next week. We actually have a little preview. We're going to be talking about games, video games. We're going to talk about, we're not going to talk about specific video games. We're going to talk about the impacts of video games, what people think video games are, what people think gamers are, and just dive into the pros and cons, because there are cons as well, to playing a lot of video games. And we'll dive into that. But if you want to wrap it up, we're good to go.
Yeah. So, also we have a Facebook page, just Fantasy Friends Podcast.
Fantasy Friends.
Thank you. Okay. Fantasy Friend Podcast on Facebook, and then on Twitter.
You gotta laugh every time.
I gotta get this one. Okay, I got it. Fan Fried Pod.
Yes.
So our Twitter handle is Fan Fried Pod. Sounds like the number 12 at Liang's. Let me get that number 12. Fan Fried Pod. Shrimp fried rice. Y'all got some egg rolls with the chicken in it? Yeah, let me get some of those too. But yeah, that's it. Facebook, Twitter, of course. Give us some feedback, good or bad. We'll take it.
Yes, sir. We got to build off something.
But that's it. Thank you for enjoying us, in this episode, and peace.
Later.